Dave's Vault, my fellow gamers. Here I wanted to touch base on acrylic flight stands. Okay, so Mantic here gives us a really nice acrylic flight stand. We're gonna crack open a brand new one. Okay, it's been still sealed. I'm gonna crack this dude open and dump out the contents. These are pretty nice. Now for these drones here, they're only size 1, so these are a bit big, but they're low profile, so you can actually kind of set models on top of it as long as you don't try to bulk it up with items. But this is nice and crystal clear. Okay, and then here you've got the two different size stands, which usually you get two different size stands with acrylic bases. These are very nice because there's no hateful bubbles in those. Okay, now I'm going to go and show you. Okay, I recently acquired this Blaine on jet bike model, but he came with something that was important for this, and this is a crap old Games Workshop, very old base, and I'm sure it's probably a British thing. The hexagonal base is like this, but old Games Workshop stuff, like with Man of War, with their flying Tauruses from Chaos Dwarves, dragons, and all that good stuff for the other factions, Wyvern Riders for orcs, and all that good stuff, would have this mess. And it's crap. And what is even more crap is this, that fat bubble coming out there, and you can actually see where it came in at the side there. Yeah, suspend belief with your bubble. Yeah, garbage. Okay, so yeah, that's garbage. Hot mess. So what I'm going to do with old Blaine on a jet bike is he's going to get himself a piece of brass rod into a base, and there you go. Back to the new base here. These are actually quite nice bases. I love them. I actually love the very low profile, thin base. And I know GW went with something like this, but it was a fatter base. It actually went up, yeah, jeez. Not very thin at all. That's thin. That's nice. So with this, you know, what you want to do, since it is such a glossy base, you know, there's a huge difference here. Okay, and all I did is I took a nice shiny base like this, and I took, man, these fantastic Stevens International sanding sticks, and I just scratched all over it. So you just have this bad boy. Okay, and you just scratch it just very finely, and it makes for a very calming thing to do. Just scratch all over it. Take your soft bristled brush and knock that off. Let's see. Okay, I need to go over that some more. Oh, or is it the bottom? It's the bottom. Okay. All right, so you see the difference there. The reason I do this, and I do it for a lot of bases, actually. Most importantly, the bases that come from Warlord Games for either Conflict 47 or Bolt Action. Because those bases, for some reason, they don't like good old-fashioned Elmer's glue, which is what I use to base all my stuff with. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a millionaire, and I'm not going to water down super glue and then spread that over basing medium. It's not going to happen. I use Elmer's glue because it's cheap, it's everywhere, it dries clear, and it has a good hold. Unless stuff is very glossy like this, it doesn't have any tooth. So what you want to do is you want to scratch these up first, give it some tooth, and that way you can base it. You know, let's be honest, if you're going to be rocking this base crystal clear like this without any basing material on it, it's going to look a little weird on the battle top. Okay, so I guess it would give you, because it's pretty crystal clear, you can see fine lines and stuff. But you know, I like the textured bases, and this is what I do. If you guys want to rock it crystal clear, go for it. Just make sure that when you go to coat your model with dull coat or anything else, if you want to do a matte coat first, then dull coat after, good on you, gloss coat too, make sure to masking tape this stem, okay? Now, we're going to move on to the short stem, because I don't use these really, because I want my flying models up high. They're flying, and it's what I do. So we're going to crack open our drone here. I just want to show you guys something. A lot of people do this, you know, it's like, if you want to live with it, you can. At the tips, oh man, you really can't see it, but there'll be a nub up there. You want to clean that off, and a nub down there, okay? But here in the female part, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to push this in. All right. Okay, now that's about as far in as it'll go. Okay, and there you can see kind of, let me put that, there we go, that really illuminates it. You can see a lip, okay? You can see this lip here, and then the stem there, all right? So guys, don't just take this at the factory's word that this is the length that you need. It's not. So what you want to do to make it a cleaner look, see, actually I had that thing pulled way down in there. Boom. Now this is an expensive pair, about $40 when I bought it. It's the Tamiya sharp side cutters. I have used mine. They've been bent out of shape, which I don't know how that happened, because I'm just using it for Gundam models and for plastics. Anyway, you want to just go down a little bit, about there. Boom. You want to eat it up like that. Okay. Man, I just drop things. I got the dropsies. So here, it's a little nub. Okay, that's fine. We'll get our drone model here. And actually, this guy with his stinger is bothering me, because it's rat. Is that guy molded odd? Perhaps I cut too much off. It's cool. I have extras. Now, you gotta hunt those things down afterwards. They fly off. See if that stinger is still in my face. No, it's doing pretty good. Okay. Now here, much cleaner. Okay. Much cleaner. And I took off too much on the first one, but this one, see, there's no lip, and it fits flush. Okay. You just have to trim off a little bit to make this a lot nicer. In the past, I actually didn't trust these things, because this section here is actually very weak, and it shears straight up, pa-ching! And that's if, you know, the model takes any kind of a fall or whatnot. Now, I wasn't dealing with light resin models, okay? Of course, I had metal flying heavy things on here, okay? We're talking about stuff like the old Wood Elf Warhawk Riders and the giant eagles, things of that nature that were on these little joker flight stands. Not these are actually good, robust ones. They were on these, and if you can tell, actually, you can tell, but you have got the old Games Workshop crap, which you could tell how thin and fragile. Man, those things would snap off so fast. These are actually pretty thick posts, and there's not much of a lip, to be honest. There's not much difference between this and that. So this is going to be a lot more robust than this POS right here. Oh, jeez. So Mantic Games is doing it right. I'm sure that they've had plenty of their models shear off the old GW stands. And I just love the fact that these don't have air bubbles. Oh, yes. So that's my tip for doing this stuff. Go ahead, scuff up the base so that your material, your basing material, will stick. And those guys that are rocking the Warlord bases, you gotta scuff them up too. So, well, if you use the Elmer's glue. If you're a millionaire and you can go ahead and rock out the watered down super glue, you go for that. And what I would do, since these actually fit very tightly, I don't have this completed one glued on. What I would do is I'm going to take a skewer. I think in a few videos back I showed you my airbrushing deal. So I'm going to take one of those skewers, bamboo skewers, shove it up there, and I'm going to prime him. And then I'm going to take this stem, wrap that completely around with masking tape, prime this base, glue down and paint and make everything nice. But I'm going to keep it kind of trim since this is bigger than what this model is. It's not a size 1 base. This is definitely like a size 2 to 3 base almost. But I'm going to keep it just mellow with flock and ballast and maybe some tufts, so that other models, if they need to fit into the cube, they can kind of sneak, encroach on this guy's base a little bit. It kind of sucks for these little guys too with the line of sight rules, because this base, it's kind of huge. So, well, maybe they can sneak it a little bit behind some cover or something, because the line of sight rules are about base size. So maybe this is better for them, actually, thinking about it. So, yeah. Material won't stick on high gloss surfaces or Warlord bases. And, trim down your flight stands so that they actually meet flush with the model and don't look goofy. If you want to do something else, you could do a thin gauge wire. Something ultra thin will work too, as long as it's got some spring to it and won't bend too terrible much. I mean, it all depends on usage. If you're a maniac and want to throw your models around and whatnot, then don't even bother painting them, guys. Just leave them plastic. Get old plastic dudes. But for me, I take care of my stuff. Most of my stuff sits in cases. I don't even play really anymore. Sad but true. I moved to a new area, lost all my gaming buddies. That's just how it goes. But I would kind of almost rather do the metal. But if you're going to rock the acrylic flight stands, treat them well and they'll look good and you'll get a lot of play value out of them. All right, guys. You guys take it easy, and I will talk to you later. Carry a laser.